Hi guys, my name is Christina and welcome to my channel. And on this channel we'll talk a lot about how to grade comics, because this is something that I've been doing and being very passionate about for the last 6 years, and I'm sharing basically everything I learned during this time. But we also talk a lot about art, how to create art, how to enjoy art, and how to earn money with your art, because this is also something I've been doing all my career. So if any of this is interesting to you, please feel free to engage with all the good buttons down below. It really helps the channel, and the channel hopefully gonna help you back. So in this video I wanted to talk to you about how to become a professional illustrator. So first of all, what is professional illustrator? What makes you a professional? Some people like thinking that you do something really good or really cool, which is correct, but technically being professional is just having this skill as your profession, as your job. And ideally, yeah, if it's your job, you better be good at this, but technically it's not required. Basically, the word professional means that you are earning money with it, you're doing it professionally. You are feeding yourself, putting food on your table because of this skill. I've been professional illustrator for, oh my goodness, for maybe 10+ years, no, actually more than 10 years, but maybe 11. But basically, this is the longest career I had. I never stopped doing it while I had like some other jobs, some other gigs, some other freelance that I've been doing, and now I have a full-time job that is VFX. I do visual effects for movies. I'm a matte painter and a concept artist, but I still illustrate, and I still illustrate for money. This is the first thing that I started, and actually this is the job that helped me save enough money to move to Canada and attend Canadian college. So I'm really, really grateful to this career, and illustration is really something that I'm passionate about with my heart. So how to actually become an illustrator? So it is like, it's good to understand that this is not a linear job. This is not something that you go to college for and then you get a degree and then you get hired as an illustrator and the Illustrator Incorporated. I don't know. It's not something that works this way. It's more complex and you have to hustle a little bit yourself, and it's more like a freelance gig and you have to operate it as your own business. But I actually did a couple videos that are connected to this area already, and I'm gonna be linking them. One of them is how to earn money with your art. I'm gonna link it over here. It's basically where I talk the just overall in general, just the path that you want to take that to be paid and earn money with your art. And another video that I want to link that I want you to watch before starting being a freelance illustrator is, I don't know how I called it. I try to go for some clickbaity title, but basically it's things that no one tells you about being an artist, and I'm gonna link it here as well. Basically in this video I'm telling about pros and cons of being an artist and doing art professionally, and I want you to watch it because it's not for everybody. It's not, this is where we're earning money with something that is very close to our heart. It's not for everybody, and not every artistic career is for, like, if you're an artist, it doesn't mean that, for example, illustration is your path. For example, for me, I realized I'd rather do full-time something like VFX that is a little bit removed from illustration. I'm explaining those things in that video, but basically just watch it and see if being a professional artist overall is the right thing for you. Consult with your family and friends and your therapist. But basically in this video I wanted to talk about illustration specific part, because I think this is a pretty nice job to have, and it's nice sounding, and it's like a prestigious for an artist to be, and this is something I really dreamt to be, and I'm really passionate about being an illustrator. So how to start? First of all, no-brainer, but very important point, learn how to draw. Learn how to draw really well. There's a lot of things that you will learn while starting a job and while being an illustrator and while working with clients, something that you cannot really prepare and learn on your own, but something that you can and should is learn how to draw. Be solid in how you're drawing, learn your style, understand what you can do, understand what you cannot do, understand on basic stuff, and I have another video of things that will make you a stronger artist, another video over here. I just made all the video, and just in order not to repeat myself, I just gonna link it over there. But basically, learn on the basics, anatomy, perspective, composition, all of this stuff, working with colors, working efficiently, working fast. It's that. Like, spend a lot of years in art school and practice and practice and practice, you know, get the skill ready. Another thing that you need to start is to get a portfolio. So once you have your skill basically ready, don't use your schoolworks, create an actual portfolio. Basically investigate what is currently available in the market and where illustrators are needed. If it's a book illustration, go and create something that looks like book illustration, create certain images that you know that you can sell and show people and say, hey, look, I can draw like this, and people immediately will be like, well, it means you definitely can do book illustration because this is basically what you draw already. If you want to do something commercial or advertisement, like for example, cute cartoony things on the boxes of juice or something like this on cereal, this is a good start. Start drawing that. Basically build a portfolio that is correspondent to what market is and basically what you want to do. I would suggest, obviously it is definitely tempting to try everything because you feel when you just started in a career, you don't feel valuable yet because nobody yet paid for your skills and validated validated that you're indeed a professional artist and, you know, deserving, all that weird stuff, like your self-esteem is not really there, and I know, I felt that. But try not to try to create everything and say, hey, I can do a little bit of everything. Because artists who can do a little bit of everything, first of all, it's really hard to sell. It means your person who will be hiring, you need to look through the whole totality of your portfolio to finally find what they're looking for. And also, you will waste a lot of time, and it's better to specialize in something specific. You don't have to be like, I'm only drawing illustrations for fantasy books. It doesn't have to be that, but it can be, for example, I do book illustrations. I do book illustrations for kids, for example, but I can do adult ones. That's a good area. I think saying like I can do this cover art type of illustrations, and I also can do cartoony things for something like, you know, for cereal box or something like this, or I can do this very simple ones that I can quickly animate, for example, and do something graphical with them. Don't do that scale, because it will be harder for somebody, for a client who will be hiring you, to understand that you can do it. They will have to go through a lot of your work to get it, and just narrow down. And also, once you start getting clients, you want to kind of stay in this niche and make connections, and those are usually not connected, because usually people who are hiring book illustrators, they're not usually hiring some cartoony different, like they usually hire people from specific area. And if you know that this is what you're doing, you will kind of be hanging out in this circle, and you would be able to do a lot of networking and get more clients, and people are gonna know you there. But if you're gonna be jumping in between, it's not gonna really help your career. But basically, build portfolio, see what is a new niche that is currently in demand, that is everywhere that you see, draw something similar, put your best foot forward and do your best with your portfolio and have it nailed down. Remove all the weak art from there. Important thing about portfolio, old pieces don't have to be there. There should be only best pieces, and the ones that communicate your skill the most and your area the best, because it doesn't have to be volume, it has to be quality. It's better if you have just 5 works, put just 5 works than put 10 works in which 5 are weaker, just because it will give your client uncertainty if you sometimes draw like this and sometimes you draw like this. And maybe if it is the case, your client should know that. But just make sure you have your portfolio ready, you have something to show to your client that will help them understand what you can do, and you have only your best works there. And if it is possible to put in your portfolio what this work is for, and you have, for example, some friend who can pretend to be your client, or, you know, somebody else who can pretend your client, and you can pretend that those works are actually commissions, do it, because your client doesn't want to know that they are your first client. They want to know that you've done it, been there, you don't care, it's like no problem for you, nothing new. So that's very important. Creating portfolio is important. Once you get your portfolio nailed down, you can go to the next step. And the next step is getting clients, and very important point, getting paid for your job. Don't do job for free. Trust me, we're gonna get there. But basically, try to get some job. Doesn't really matter yet if you nail your dream job. Actually, don't, like, obviously go for your dream job, but like go for your dream clients. If you want to illustrate novels, go for people who are looking for something like this. The best clients come after you are already famous and known. That's kind of how it works. So what you want to do with creating your work, you want to put yourself out there, get yourself known, get yourself printed on something, get yourself published on something, appear on some website. You want just to appear, you want to spread out, and that's why just start looking for jobs. There's a lot of websites that you can look a job for. For example, in Russia there's Illustrator.ru, but there's like, I'm pretty sure there's Illustrator.com, and just look for any freelance website and just start hunting down those clients, offer what you can do, put your portfolio out there, just put yourself out there, create your portfolio. Like, once you have your portfolio, once you have your work, post it online, engage online with people. Don't be afraid to go to the client and say, hey, I can do this for you if you want. Just offering. If client is having a job posting on one of those websites, go forward, say, I want to do it. I think I will be a good fit. I will be really happy to help you with this. So just be aggressive in the beginning, like not aggressive in the way you talk, but aggressive in the way that you actually step out of your comfort zone and go talk to clients and offer your services. Hey, I'm really interested in this work. This is my portfolio. I think I will be a good match. That's it. And just start getting jobs, any jobs. And it really, really doesn't matter what what type of jobs you get as long as it within, you know, what you want to do, and like not like dream job type of want to do, but like type of illustration, like from 2D or more realistic or like more animation type of thing, just within your area of field. Because if it's outside of your area, you'll not really building your career. So if it's within your area that you want to work in, and as long as it is paid, never work for free. And it is very important. It's important on many levels. First of all, it is a mental thing. When you're working for free, it's very hard, like it's really actually very hard hurdle to jump over, to go from I'm working for free to I'm being paid for my job, especially when it's art. It's really linked to our ego, it's really linked to our self-value, it's really, really close to us. The longer you stay in the area that you're working for free, it's like it just keeps you thinking that this is the only thing you can do. It is actually hard and scary to have this jump and get paid. It is scary, and I'm not gonna lie, but you gotta do this jump, because if you're just dabbling in this free help somewhere here, you will just not be able to do it mentally. It's just gonna be blocking you, and you will be feeling that you're not worthy, you cannot do it, it's not gonna work for you, nobody ever gonna be wanted to pay for you, art is not worth paying for. So it's, first of all, it's really mental. You have to be very strict with yourself. You gotta pay. Don't be desperate. There's a lot of people won't work. I would still not recommend, you know, get cheap rates, but if you're just starting, you can try cheap rate, even though you will realize why I would recommend just get the proper market price. And I have a video again when I'm talking about how to estimate how much to charge your client for your art. In that video, I strongly recommend not to get underpaid, and I'm explaining why, but it's better to be underpaid than not paid. If you are really, really insecure and you're really, really struggling and you really need it for self-esteem to land some job, at least go with like a lower pay, okay? Because otherwise it will be hard. It will be hard, and then you will give up. And trust me, I know it's scary. I know it's scary to ask for money for your art, but you do. And if you are scared to do it, for example, out there with the client, if there's a friend that wants to do it, let them pay you. Ask them to pay. And I actually believe that friends, it's one thing when you're creating like some trading environment, when you're doing one thing for them and they using their talents to help you, it's one thing. But if they just want something from you, if it's your skill, your professional artist, this is your profession, they gotta pay. So make sure, at least if, for example, people are easy accessible, make this point. Another thing it's very important is that it's more on like a global scale. It's you really not doing good thing for other artists, because there are a lot of clients out there who are really spoiled and who just expect people to create art for free, for nothing, and it's getting hard, and people are not respecting art because of this. A lot of clients who are really disrespectful toward art, they have no idea that art should be paid, and it's not okay. And it happens, I know why it happens, because of artists who feel not secure to ask for money. So never do that, because it's not benefiting you at all. If you're gonna get a client like this, it's gonna be the crappiest client you ever had, and you're gonna regret it, and you'll get traumatized. And you're also not helping other artists like you who are also trying to find their footing in the industry. Another thing that I mentioned already is that, well, I mentioned it already, but the point is different. The point is not what I mentioned. The greatest jobs come to you when you are well known, when you're out there, when you become more like famous as an artist. So, and also those opportunities come out of nowhere. At least this is what it is from my experience. So you gotta put yourself out there, and this is another thing that you should kind of do. Prepare for the opportunity. You already created your portfolio, you already started doing your jobs, and you're already doing this small freelance for people, but make sure you're still working your ass off at home, and you're creating more art, and you're putting yourself out there, you're putting yourself on Instagram, you're putting yourself on Twitch, I don't know, YouTube, you're putting yourself everywhere. You're creating a lot of art, a lot of content, so people, when they see you, they think, wow, they repost. So you're getting advertised, you're getting noted. So when the opportunity comes out, when somebody is looking for something that you can do, make sure you're Googleable, make sure your art is out there, and make sure if somebody want to get a certain dragon with beautiful lady, I don't know, on the cover of their fantasy book, when they Google dragon and a beautiful lady, fantasy artist, they find you somewhere. And to do this, you have to just post, engage with people, create your platform, put yourself out there like no tomorrow, and then the right client will find you. And the clients that find you this way are the best clients, and this is the best experience, because they are not the ones who have a gig and you are saying, hey, I can do it for you, and you kind of have to do everything they said you should do. In this case, they found you for you, and they want you to just do you, to do your art, and this is the best. It's just just want you to create exactly your art that you're already creating, because this is exactly why they hired you. It's I heard this phrase that says luck is when preparation meets the opportunity, and that's exactly it. Be prepared, put yourself out there, have portfolio pieces, have this beautiful work, always progress. Never be stale, never be like, oh, this client likes this and I have a lot of clients that like this job. But if you want to go further, keep improving, keep working in your spare time, keep doing it. And when the opportunity comes along, they will be ready, they will find you. I had a lot of amazing experiences where clients found me exactly this way, and this was amazing. I was very happy, and they really listened to what I have to say as an artist. They really cared of my input, and it was really a blast, and I feel really appreciated as an artist, and it was just amazing environment. And they paid me really well just because they were interested in getting me on board. It was not the way around, but I'm like, please, please, please give me a job. So this is a very important piece, and because the illustration job is not really linear and standard like other jobs are, it's important that you think not standardly. It's not like a standard job when you go to college, then you apply and you get the job. You have to hustle, you have to build your business, you have to build your PR image, you have to build your platform, and it's very important. So you're gonna hustle and do this, and it's kind of like you show yourself and somebody will notice, but that's why show yourself more and better and spread yourself out across the internet. So that's another tip. And the last tip that I feel is very important is, if you're still starting, have another job on the side. When you're doing freelance illustration, if you're doing freelance in general, and especially illustration, in the beginning, clients are not guaranteed. Clients are never guaranteed, honestly. But the further you go in your career, the more connections you have, and the more people come back to you for more work, because they know that you already did it. You have this database, this networking thing is already set up. So at some point, you might be working with an agency that necessarily signed you up. But for example, you know those agents and they're always looking for artists and they know you, and they will connect, or some client that has a recurrent job and whatnot. So it will be further in the game, but in the beginning, it's not gonna be easy to find clients constantly and have constant work coming in, unless you are, for example, a student currently, and this is kind of your gig that you do on the side already. That it's good. This is how I started. But if, for example, you finished some university or college already, have another job, have another day job that you have that you can rely on for consistent income. Maybe this job is not your dream job at all, but have it so that you don't have to put a lot of pressure on your illustration and don't have to do rushed, not best decisions for your career just because you're scared about finances. It's very important because it can be scary. If your finances are coming in from this freelance job and you just started and you don't even yet figured out how to work with this, you don't figure out how to work with client, how to work with problematic clients, how to make a contract, if the client is not paying well or something like this, if there is a problem or you have to find another contract right away, you have to find another client right away. It's a lot of pressure if you're just starting and if you don't have all this connection and you're not solid in the industry. If you really rely on this to literally eat, it will make you do a lot of not good decisions for your career. It will make you grab whatever project, it will make you just burn yourself out, stress out, and just maybe have in the end really bad relationship with your working process, and it's just not the best solution. And besides, you will still have a lot of free time. It's not realistic to expect this job to support you in the beginning. So have another job to take this stress away and to take a stress away from yourself and from, am I gonna survive this month or not? Do this job and slowly transition. This is basically the nature of freelance. You have to build this career. Think about it as like a business. You have to build it up and invest, and before it starts bringing money. You cannot just rely, like I say, oh, I got the client right now, I had an illustration gig and that's it, I'm an illustration right away, I'm gonna support myself through illustration. Just be realistic and just have some other job and then slowly transition. So this are my advice for you tonight, and basically they're all really from my life. This is all the steps that I told you to do, is all the steps that I did that worked for me, and in the end I was very lucky to work with publishing houses, with board games, with a lot of cool things. I was able to create illustration inside of the books, cover art, just private commissions for clients, and it's really amazing to just be illustrator and enjoy this work. I'm still doing it today, but I'm being very picky at this this point, I'm just kind of like in my retirement in the illustration field. I create my comic and I take only the jobs that I'm really interested in and that I pay really well, because otherwise I don't want to waste my time. I want to work on my comic. But these are my tips, and yeah, I hope they're helpful, and I hope you will be able to build your career. It's not easy to have a career of your dreams and do something that you really love for money, but you can do it. You definitely can do it, so don't give up. Persevere, and I would still recommend you to watch the videos that I mentioned just to prepare you, and they give more information about the career, art as a career. So hope this video was helpful for you guys, and if you have your own experience and your own advice, please leave them in the comments down below. I would be happy to read it, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.